Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. I'm just heading back to work. I just did a couple of 5 a.m. clubs up there on the Harbour Bridge, and I just want to do a walk and talk about a book summary that I did on the bus on the way in this morning. The book summary is entitled "I Thought It Was Just Me" by a beautiful author, Brene Brown. Another female author with a different perspective, a powerful perspective. And it's a book which talks about vulnerability and how we can make the most of sharing our feelings and feeling our feelings without feeling shame, and just understanding a little bit better what brings about shame in people. Because Brene says that shame corrodes the very part of us that believes that we are capable of changing. One of the big challenges that we all face is getting over that hurdle, that potential hurdle, and that terrible feeling of shame, especially when we're trying to change, we're trying to improve, and trying to basically get around and make the necessary changes that we need in our lives. So the author here talks about the importance and the first step that we all need to take, and that is to understand shame. Let me just press the button, otherwise I'm not going to go anywhere. So the first step is to press the button in the lift to go down, and the second thing is to talk about the first step of understanding shame. And we need to understand it, and as Brene says, we need to be able to define it in terms of what it means to us. Because according to the author here, we often talk about our feelings. We're really good about talking about our feelings, but we know very little about them. So one of the key things, according to this author, is that we need to try and understand a little bit better what shame is and how it limits us and how we can leverage it and to get and to lead a better life. I'll just hop over this barrier, just 1 second, there we go. I can still get my leg over, which is good, not bad for 61. And we're at the rocks here, so you'll see a different sort of perspective today. I haven't been here for a while, but I guess throughout winter, when we get those magnificent red, orange sunrises, I'll try and spend some more time up this end of town. So we'll just go down the stairs here, making sure I don't topple down. So shame is a deeply painful sensation. This is Brene describing and explaining what shame is according to her definition. It's a deeply painful sensation that stems from the belief that we're not good enough, and that this shortcoming will prevent us from being accepted and belonging to a group. Wow, what a definition that is. There's nothing worse, especially as a child growing up. I remember this because I was an only child, but not being able to fit in or not being accepted was and continues to be for all of us a challenge and a painful sensation, as the author says, because there are a lot of people who get caught up and overthink things and spend their whole lives thinking that they're not good enough. But what is enough? You know, if we don't think we're good enough, what is enough, and who defines what enough is? It's an interesting way of seeing things, and not being accepted in the group. At the end of the day, we're old enough now to realise that there will be groups that will never be accepted into because of our colour, because of our religion, because of our race, because of our ideas, because of our postcode, because of our work, you name it. You know, there are people who are just never going to accept us for various reasons. But what I say is, who gives a bloody damn? Who gives a shit about whether or not other people will accept us or not? Because there are enough people. There are enough people in the world. There are enough groups in the world, and you can create your own groups. So you don't need other people to accept you if they don't want to accept you, so to speak. But we all need to understand is that because humans are social beings, we seek compassion by sharing our vulnerabilities and end up sometimes being rejected instead. So there's a flip side, according to the author, of sharing your vulnerabilities and being vulnerable. We often talk about the importance of being vulnerable and sharing your vulnerabilities, because what it does is it makes you more relatable, and it makes people see you as being more real. But with that experiment, with that oversharing, what it does is it does bring out the tiger. It brings out the lion in some people who may see you as being a little too different and not want to socialise with you or interact with you as well. So there is a downside to showing your vulnerability, but at the end of the day, you're better off polarising people and getting rid of the people out of your life who won't accept you, or who. And the bottom line is that if somebody doesn't like you from the beginning, chances are that they'll never like you. So you're better off just pissing them off out of your life early in the piece, rather than spending a whole lifetime trying to gain favour in their eyes, only to feel second-rate all the time. No, there's no use. Once again, let's reiterate this. There's no use being friends and being social with people who don't accept you, who don't love you, and who don't appreciate what you stand for and what you've got. Let's get that very, very clear. That's a powerful lesson for people of all ages. Because I see people who are troubled, who go through their life and they're absolutely bloody troubled by the fact that, somebody doesn't accept me, or I don't fit in. As we said, all you have to say to yourself is, who gives a shit? Anyway, what a glorious, glorious morning. I have to go back to work now, so I'm going to miss the sunrise, and I can see the cloud. I can see the beautiful cloud cover on the horizon there. It's going to make for a spectacular sunrise. Anyway, we can't have everything. We need to be able to balance work with pleasure. So the next point that comes out of the book here is that the author says that you can react better when you feel ashamed by practicing critical awareness. And critical awareness allows you to see why and how things happen as they happen, and to understand, as I said before, that there are things that you just can't change. There are people who are set in their ways, who have got their formula set in their ways, and you're not part of their formula, and you're not part of their future, so don't worry about it. So we need to pause and see the big picture and understand the context of where the shame may be coming from. And a lot of the time, other people make us feel shamed. Other people make us feel uncomfortable. So you just have to understand it and refocus and reinterpret where they're coming from, and just, as I said, don't take it to heart, and don't focus on it too much, and don't dwell on it, and just live the present. Don't think of the past, and don't spend too much time in worrying about the future. Because what happens is that we get angry. and anger is the easy outlet to channel shame, but it's sometimes the wrong way. So the bottom line from this author is don't get angry when you feel shame. And anger is an easy cop-out when we feel ashamed. But because we can be angry at others, and we can also be angry with ourselves. So don't go down that path, or if you do go down that path, nip it in the bud as early as you can, and don't thrash yourself, don't punish yourself unduly for feeling shame, and the shame that you put upon yourself or others impose upon you. Because as the author reminds us, anger is an emotion used to cover up another emotion. So we need to try and get back and understand the source of the shame, and to analyze it, and to, rebalance it, so that we can leverage it as opposed to have it eat away at us. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this magnificent Thursday morning here in Sydney. And the book summary that we've just been through is entitled I Thought It Was Just Me by Brene Brown, an author, a wonderful author. She's probably the thought leader, the global thought leader on vulnerability, on the science of vulnerability, and how we can use it to leverage our lives, and how we can use it to our benefit. And it's something that we can live, learn, and pass on to our children, our friends and families, and all those wonderful people around us. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, have an awesome Thursday, a throwback Thursday. May you be as productive and as joyful and happy as you possibly can, remembering that today will never ever come back. So what you capture today, what you generate today, is unique and a once-in-a-lifetime event. Make today your heyday. Make every day your heyday. And let's work with each other. Let's share experiences so that we can be the wind beneath our wings. We can be the wave beneath our board. We can be the propeller churning up the water and propelling us in the direction we want to get to. And that we can be the zephyr that bellows our sails. Yasas, take care, Filakia, and we'll chat again later on. I'll come to you again for another couple of 5 a.m. clubs. This is my third for the day, and just so you're aware, I need to do 4 a day in order to get to my 1,000 by my 61st birthday, God willing. Yasas, sasagapao. Filakia once again, and bye for now.